just pulled up and shot my truck. Hopefully I can get it out of the children.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. Some camping trips leave you with unforgettable memories. Others leave you wishing you had never gone in the first place. In this case, what should have been a peaceful night on the road turned into a near-death encounter for a man named James, someone well accustomed to life in a van. James had parked near an abandoned structure, planning to spend the night like he had many times before, alone, but at peace.
So a bunch of guys just pulled up and shot my truck with me in it. I was literally sleeping in the back, and they shot it up right there. Yeah, so that was pretty crazy because these guys pulled up, and you know, I don't know. I think hopefully it was just a bunch of kids or whatever, but you know, even hopefully. But so I'm in the truck, and you know, these guys pulled up, and I heard them pull up, and I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm at this building because I was staying at that abandoned place, and I'm at this building, and man, it was crazy. They just started shooting at my truck.
In the middle of the night, he was abruptly torn from sleep by the sound of gunfire. Bullets struck his vehicle while he was still lying in the back. With no time to process what was happening, he instinctively ducked down. The shots kept coming, shattering glass, piercing metal, before the attackers sped off into the dark.
And I'm in it, so I ducked down. I was like, oh my God. Like, I ducked down. I was like, okay, well, you know, they're shooting at the glass, whatever. And then I heard them take off, and I just got out and, you know, basically got in the front, checked it out, got in the front, and drove off because I'm not going to stay there tonight. Obviously, not after that, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm going to go down the road or what. I'm pretty far from home. I don't want to have to drive all the way home tonight. But that was pretty crazy. Watch, I'll show you. I mean, I haven't found any rounds. It's 22 probably, right? Or something, but I haven't seen any rounds in here or anything. My truck's a mess, but yeah, so aside from needing a new window, I'm okay. I guess let that be a lesson, you know what I mean? Just be careful if you do anything like this, or a lesson to me too. You know, that was scarier than any paranormal experience or anything like that I could have. That was pretty wild. You know, you're sitting in your truck and it's being shot at, like, regardless of whether it's a small caliber or not. That was a pretty scary experience. So you hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times.
When the dust settled, James cautiously stepped outside. His truck had taken 8 direct hits. One of them landed mere inches from where his head had been resting. He didn't see anyone around. The bullets appeared to be small caliber, possibly from a .22, but that didn't matter. This wasn't a prank or a movie scene. This was real. James knew he couldn't stay. He left behind his tent and gear and drove off into the night, shaken but alive. Some speculate James had parked in a spot used by others, perhaps for illicit activity. Others believe it was just reckless strangers with no idea he was inside. But even a small bullet can kill. Whether it was a targeted attack or random chaos, the outcome could have been fatal. The fact that they opened fire on an occupied truck raises a darker possibility. Maybe they knew he was inside and didn't care. James later said it was scarier than any ghost story he'd ever heard. And when you're staring down 8 bullet holes in your window, it's hard to disagree. How many others never made it out to tell stories like this? And what if next time they don't miss? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. When you're miles from help, a simple mistake can turn into a dangerous standoff. Andy, a seasoned wild camper with a growing online following, set out alone to test some new gear in the woods. What started as a peaceful solo outing quickly spiraled into a hostile confrontation that nearly ended in violence.
So I've got some new X-Ped gear to show you today. It's really nice stuff. It's got lots of little features, lots of little nice fixings, great design, and just want to have a bit of a play around with it, to be honest. So here we have it. This is where I'll be pitching my tent. So it's on a fire break in some ancient...
It was a warm, clear evening. Andy hiked into a patch of ancient woodland and found a quiet fire break to set up camp.
This is inside the X-Ped Venus 2 Ultralight. It's massive. It's absolutely huge. It comes with its own little line, which I absolutely love. There's loads of fixings for things like lanterns. It's a proper two-person tent. To be honest, it's way too big for one person, but when I'm camping locally, that's when I tend to take out my big tents with me, because why not? I'm not going far.
He pitched his oversized two-person tent, reviewed his equipment for the camera, and enjoyed the simplicity of camping alone. But then, without warning,
gutted. Just been busted. Really busted. Like Three Guys Land Rover busted. Oh dear. Have to keep it quiet. Oh dear. Well, campers, that was an experience. But a good one. It's out of the way now. It's the first time I've been busted. So, oh God, nearly got shot. Fucking hell. Oh dear. God. Nice. This old guy with a gun. Someone in a suit. And then the backup team, which I weren't going to mess with them. Just asking what the I was doing. Oops, not good. Oh, it's a good job on my YouTuber though. I just said I was making a video. Oh, this is awkward. Oh dear. Oh, so heart rate coming to an end. Oh dear me.
a Land Rover pulled up beside his site. 3 men stepped out. One of them was visibly armed. The men claimed Andy was trespassing on private land and demanded answers. Caught completely off guard, he tried to explain he was filming for a camping video and hadn't seen any posted signs. But the situation was tense. They didn't raise their voices, but their presence and the firearm said enough. Realizing how quickly things could go wrong, Andy apologized and immediately began tearing down his gear.
Basically, what happened was, tent pitched up, everything out. I was, like I said, I was in a fire break. Came, I could see a car, so I ducked down. And yeah, he clearly knew where I was. And I just apologised straight away. It's like, there's no point being aggy about it. You know, you just got to put your hands up. Just, sorry, you know, bit of an idiot. Felt an idiot, that's for sure. You know, won't happen again, type thing, which it won't. God, I didn't realise it was a shoot in Woodland. Didn't know that at all.
The men stood nearby, silently watching every move. Later, Andy would learn that the land was part of a licensed hunting ground, a shooting woodland, something he had no idea about. Fortunately, the men left him with a warning rather than something worse. But the message was clear. In the wrong place, even during the right activity, you're still a target. Andy's experience underscores how fast a peaceful trip can turn threatening when you're unfamiliar with the land. Many believe the only thing that kept the situation from escalating was Andy's immediate cooperation and the presence of a camera. If it had gone differently, this could have been a very different story. Andy was lucky to walk away. But what if those men hadn't accepted his apology? What if he hadn't noticed them approaching until it was too late? When you're alone in the woods, the scariest thing isn't always what's hiding in the shadows. Sometimes, it's the people standing in plain sight. Some trips into the wild offer peace. Others leave you wondering whether you were ever truly alone. For Gaz and his dog Fendi, what began as a quiet lakeside adventure quickly descended into something darker, something they couldn't explain.
Shall we have a sit down on the beach for a bit? Watch the fish.
Gaz started his journey near a secluded lake, accompanied by his ever-watchful dog. Early into the hike, he spotted something odd in the distance, an old, abandoned tent hidden among the trees. He made a mental note to investigate it later.
Good girl. Yeah, that's it. Wash that bob out of your mouth. A little scruff. And here we are, home for night. Gorgeous, isn't it? And there she is. What do you think to me? New tent. Well, it's not a new tent, but I've dyed it. So it's a new tent to me. Put your night vision goggles back on so you can see me. And then we'll go find the druid's altar. What are you doing? Oh yeah.
After a day spent exploring waterfalls and relaxing by the water, they returned to camp. As dusk fell, he sat by the fire, brewing coffee and talking to the camera. But the quiet didn't last.
Go chill out for a bit. I'll have this and then we'll go for a walk. So impatient, isn't she? What was that? Did you hear that? Definitely sounded like a tree falling down from over there somewhere. Kept hearing stuff up behind me, and then big crash right over there, but I can't see out through trees. Predator.
Suddenly, loud cracking noises echoed from the forest. Something heavy, something close. At first, Gaz dismissed it as local wildlife, maybe a deer, but the sounds grew stranger. Movement in the brush, rustling behind him. The forest, once open and calm, now felt claustrophobic.
I can hear rustling over here, but I don't know if it's just my imagination playing tricks on me. Oh, this is a bit dodgy, isn't it? Be careful, mate. Oh, look at this.
They pushed deeper into the woods, Fendi alert, Gaz tense. That's when they found it.
Yeah, tawny owls going off their heads down there. 3 of them. There it is over there. Geese again. The eyes down there. Just looks like kids have been in here. Oh, I don't know. Oh, there you go. That answers it, doesn't it? Fendi. Shit me pants then, mate. Oh, look. Bong there and cream of tomato soup.
A stone structure, clearly built by hand, stood in the clearing. Not random, not accidental. Further in, they reached the forgotten campsite. Scattered gear, a food can, a bong, and the eerie feeling that someone, or something, had just left, or maybe hadn't left at all. Gaz crept forward, scanning the tent. Then, splashing sounds from the water nearby. Eye shine in the trees. He froze. His headlamp dimmed and then cut out entirely. Disoriented and nearly blind, he stumbled through the underbrush and found a concrete shelter, partially buried by vines.
Oh, my head torch seems to be running out of battery now. Watch, it'll dim in a minute. Keeps dimming. Great. That's all we need. Oh, definitely just saw eye shine over there. Oh, fucking head torch. Oh, maybe it was a Wendigo. You're supposed to. Oh, do we dare even come in here? Holy Bible. That says the end there. Is it upside down? Why would it be upside down? Is Genesis the first passage of the Bible? I don't know. It's got some scribbling on there. Can't make out what it says. Mary Ann something or other. Eastwood, Todmorden, 1995. That's creepy, isn't it? Upside down Bible.
Inside, he discovered something far worse, an upside down Bible, open to Genesis. Strange, faded handwriting filled the margins. Names, places. One stood out, Mary Ann, Eastwood Top Maiden, 1995. The air turned cold. The silence was crushing. Whatever this place was, it wasn't meant to be found. Gaz backed away slowly and returned to camp, shaken and silent. What Gaz encountered matches reports of hidden ritual sites in remote forests, abandoned camps, symbolic structures, and cryptic markings. Some viewers suggest the writing in the Bible may have belonged to someone involved in a local cult or a spiritual outcast. Others wonder if this wasn't paranormal at all, but instead the remnants of something human, and far more dangerous. The tent, the stone structure, the Bible, all signs point to something unnatural. But the real question is, was he being watched the entire time? Would you have stayed and looked deeper, or run before the forest closed in for good? Some dangers in the wild don't creep, they bury you. For Luke, an experienced camper with countless adventures under his belt, this trip into the Alaskan wilderness would push him to his limits. What started as a peaceful cold-weather camp became a desperate race against an unforgiving blizzard.
Luke here with the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. I'm here in the frozen Alaskan rainforest, and I brought my hot tent because it's supposed to be a blizzard tonight. Woo! My circle is too small. Well, the fire's barely going and it's heating up quite nicely in here, making my pants steam. That's why everyone calls me Hot Pants. Nobody calls me that. All this wood is wet and cold, so we're gonna put it around the stove to dry it out before we throw it in. I'm gonna string up a little clothesline to start drying my gloves out. I brought a little luxury item here.
Luke set up camp deep within a snowy rainforest in Alaska, surrounded by towering trees and thick snowbanks. He pitched a hot tent, gathered firewood, and began melting snow to make tea and prepare a warm meal.
A little bit of salt. I got these little lamb T-bones here and they're already seasoned. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the bone out and cut off the grizzle, put that in the pot first. I'm gonna have some herbal tea here. Oh, that herbal tea hits the spot. Sounds like the wind's starting to kick up a little bit. Occasionally, snow's getting blown off.
The evening was cold, but calm. He dried his gear, enjoyed a hot drink, and settled in for the night. Everything felt under control, until it wasn't. During the night, the storm worsened. Heavy snow began falling in chunks from the trees above, landing directly on his shelter.
Well, it's toasty warm in this bag, and I am tired, so I'm gonna hit the sack. And we're gonna see what this blizzard brings, because I can hear it snowing really hard right now. We'll see what we got in the morning.
I was woken up by big chunks of snow falling off the trees onto the tent. The wind's picked up a little bit, so it's happening a fair amount. I think it's time to get up.
What a beautiful campsite. This right here is Prince William Sound, one of the most gorgeous parts of Alaska. And this forest here is actually rainforest. They get something like 200 inches of rain every year here. This is one of my favorite places in Alaska. But this storm is getting worse. I think I better get my snowshoes on and get out of here. There's a good 18 inches of snow on top of my old tracks from yesterday. It's like I never broke any trail.
By morning, visibility was low, winds had picked up, and the snowpack had deepened dramatically. Realizing the danger, Luke packed quickly and prepared to move. He strapped on snowshoes and began the long hike out through thick snowdrifts and howling wind.
I'm almost to the car. Hopefully I can get it out of the snowdrift. Well, there you go. That's not too buried. I can get that out.
When he finally reached his car, it was partially buried. After clearing it, he managed to hit the road, but the ordeal wasn't over.
The drifts are so bad, I've got to run out and scout ahead. I put the shovel in the snowdrift so I can know where to aim. Oh, that was some sketchy stuff. There was just the smallest window through that snowdrift. I had to go and run about 50 feet in front of the car and put my red shovel in the snow, and I'd use that as a target to aim for the path. And I'd get there and I'd run back and go another 50 feet. And if you got off 6 inches to either side, you were done. But by doing that, me and everybody that was behind me was able to get through the snowdrifts.
He encountered another vehicle stuck in the snow and stopped to help. Then, with the road nearly invisible beneath sheets of ice, Luke had to scout ahead on foot, planting a red shovel as a marker, walking 50 feet at a time to create a path. A single wrong turn, a few inches off path, and he would have been stranded. But somehow he got through, and those behind him followed. Eventually, after hours of battling the elements, he made it home. Frozen, exhausted, alive. Some viewers see this as a survival masterclass, preparedness, resilience, and instinct in action. But others point out how close this came to becoming a recovery mission. Had Luke left just an hour later? The snow could have sealed him in. The woods didn't roar. They whispered. They didn't chase him. They tried to trap him. And it leaves one chilling question. What if he hadn't made it out in time? For one camper, Halloween night seemed like the perfect time to try something new. He'd never done a solo camp before, especially not deep in the woods, but curiosity got the better of him. What he didn't realize was that his first trip would turn into something he'd never forget.
Hi guys, we're down at Dungeness. It's Halloween 2024, so I've decided to go out and do a solo camp. I've never done a solo camp in my life, so it's going to be something different for me, a new experience, and probably a little bit creepy. I've heard there's been a few hauntings in the area. One story was absolutely great, actually, thinking about it. I was just trying not to trip over. I always remember it. A guy down on the beach fishing, and there's known to be a ghost. He's like an old fisherman type man, because it's like a fishing village, desert. He's known in the area to walk around in like dungaree type trousers and, you know, like traditional sort of fisherman sort of dress, old school. And apparently there was a guy down on the beach fishing away, and he was just getting to a point where he was ready to pack up to go home. And he turned around and see a bloke stand there staring at him. Bearing in mind this is in the dark at night time, not midnight. And anyway, he sat there, he sort of spoke to the bloke a little bit. The bloke didn't answer, he just stood there staring. And he decided that enough's enough, I'm going to leave. Turned around to look at the bloke again, and he'd gone. Well, this guy freaked out, and he's rushed back to his car, and he's jumped in his motor, and he was too scared that he didn't even pack any of his fishing rods up or anything.
He chose a remote area near Dungeness, a coastal zone with a reputation for strange stories. While hiking in, he recounted a local legend. the ghost of an old fisherman said to wander the beaches in silence, dressed in traditional gear, dungarees and all. One story described a fisherman who saw the ghost staring at him on the beach. When he turned to look again, the figure had vanished. Shaken, the man abandoned his gear and fled.
Right guys, that's the tent all pitched up, ready to go. How exciting. It's only an old tent I had laying around, but it does me okay. So nice and quick and easy. Cool, you can hear all the birds singing. So peaceful down here, apart from the main road. Does feel a little eerie though, if I'm honest, especially on your own. I mean, it doesn't look much in the camera, but the sun is going down fast. It's quite creepy, if I'm honest.
As the sun dipped below the trees, the solo camper found a quiet clearing and set up his tent. Birds chirped, the breeze rustled through the leaves, but underneath it all, something felt wrong.
Alright guys, we're in the tent. It's getting a bit creepy outside. I thought I heard a few noises here and there, but I'll just put it down to animals, I think, because you know, it's a bit nasty out there. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm gonna, because there's not a lot else I can do, I think I'm gonna get my head down because it's now 11:30. So what was that? Did you hear that, guys? What the fuck was that? What was that noise? It sounded close to the tent.
By 11:15 p.m., he was inside his tent. The forest had grown silent, too silent. He mentioned hearing faint noises, twigs snapping in the distance, but brushed it off as animals. Then it started. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, circling the tent.
Because that wasn't very nice. That sounded a bit close to the tent. Can't see anything, guys. I haven't heard the noise since. I don't know, guys. It's creeped me out a lot though. This solo camping is a little bit sketchy, if I'm honest. Oh, I don't know what that noise was, guys, but I'm back in the tent and I think I'm just going to call it a night because I'm quite tired. I just hope whatever that was has buggered off. I don't know what it was, whether it was an animal or I really don't know, but that was scary.
Heart pounding, he grabbed his flashlight and stepped outside. Nothing. The woods were still. No movement. He returned to the tent, trying to stay calm, but unease turned to dread.
What was that, guys? Shit. Someone out there. Shit. That's shaking me up, guys. That's really shaking me up.
At 2 a.m., something began striking the tent. Hard, over and over. The fabric collapsed inward from the force. Panicked, he peeked outside with his torch. Nothing there. But the feeling of being watched overwhelmed him. He made the only decision he could. He ran.
What the fuck was that? Absolutely shitting myself. What the fuck was that? I can't do this, guys. I can't stay here. I cannot stay here, guys. I really can't. I don't know what the hell that was. There's someone here. There's got to be. There's someone here. Shit. I ain't hanging around here, guys. I've left my tent. I didn't pack it up in the end. I'm sorry about the head torch. I'm not turning that off. I'm not turning the head torch off. I need to see where I'm going and who's around me. Because, this isn't very nice, guys. This really isn't very nice.
Grabbing only his light, he left the tent behind and fled through the woods, talking into the camera as he went. His voice trembled. He didn't look back. Some viewers believe this was just a prank. Someone stalking the area waiting to scare unsuspecting campers. But others point to the date, the silence, and the local legend. The figure that appears only at night. That watches. That vanishes. Halloween has a long history of thinning the veil between the living and the dead, and sometimes you don't have to believe in ghosts for them to find you. He never saw who or what it was, but whatever stood outside that tent knew he was alone. Was it just coincidence he camped there that night, or had something been waiting? Some campers look for solitude. Others, like Maman, are drawn to places with darker reputations. Known for venturing into remote and haunted locations, Maman thought he'd seen it all until this night. At dusk, he arrived at a quiet forest clearing. The fire was lit, a cup of hot chocolate brewed, and a cigarette flickered in the glow. Everything seemed calm until he began recounting the local legends.
And this is the road according to the residents or according to the village here. This road is very scary and friends and very haunted. Straight is the direction of the village. So the direction to the left to the right is the direction to the cemetery, friends. So this road is used for the activities of villagers to the village. So there is a village there too, my friends. Then there is a village there, then towards the left there is a cemetery. Because every time someone passes by here, my friends often get lost. So it says that there are ghosts on this road that often resemble humans.
A nearby road, villagers claimed, was haunted. One direction led to a settlement, the other to an old cemetery. And along this road, people reportedly vanish. Some return disoriented, others don't return at all. Locals whisper of ghostly figures that mimic humans, perfectly still, unnervingly silent. Later that night, Maman wandered down a nearby path. The woods were quiet, too quiet. He couldn't shake the sense he was being followed. He returned to camp, uneasy. That's when the real horror began. His motorbike, which had been off, suddenly turned on by itself. The handlebars jerked violently, as if yanked by invisible hands. There was no one there. He killed the engine and backed into his tent. 2 cameras were set, one on the bike, one on himself. And then, just past midnight, it happened. From the shadows, a tall figure in white appeared, seated silently on his bike. Long dark hair, no movement, just presence. Then, laughter, distorted, hollow, wrong. Paralyzed, Maman watched from inside his tent. When he finally gathered the courage to pan the camera again, the figure was gone. No sound, no trace, no explanation. Some believe this was an elaborate prank, someone hiding in the woods, waiting for the perfect moment. But others point to the road's history, to the consistency of stories told by those who live nearby. Entities that appear as people, laugh without emotion, move without sound. Was this something supernatural, or something designed to look almost human? The footage leaves little doubt. Something sat on that bike, and if it wasn't a person, what else is walking these forests pretending to be one? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.